Today I fucked up by buying everyone an Ancestry DNA kit and ruining Christmas. Earlier this year, Ancestry DNA had a sale on their kit. I thought it would be a great gift idea, so I bought 6 of them for Christmas presents. Today my family got together to exchange presents for our Christmas Eve tradition, and I gave my mom, dad, brother, and 2 sisters each a kit. As soon as everyone opened their gift at the same time, my mom started freaking out. She told us how she didn't want us taking them because they had unsafe chemicals. We explained to her how there were actually no chemicals, but we could tell she was still flustered. Later she started trying to convince us that only one of us kids need to take it since we will all have the same results and to resell extra kits to save money. Fast forward, our parents have been fighting upstairs for the past hour, and we are downstairs trying to figure out who has a different ad. Too long didn't read. I bought everyone in my family Ancestry DNA kit for Christmas. My mom started freaking. Now our parents are fighting and my dad might not be my dad. Update: thank you so much for all the love and support. My sisters, brother and I have not yet decided yet if we are going to take the test. No matter what the results are, we will still love each other, and our parents no matter what. Update 2, Christmas isn't ruined. My FU actually turned into a Christmas miracle. Turns out my sister's father passed away shortly after she was born. A good friend of my mom's was able to help her through the darkest time in her life, and they went on to fall in love and create the rest of our family. They never told us because of how hard it was for my mom. Last night she was strong enough to share stories and photos with us for the first time, and it truly brought us even closer together as a family. This is a Christmas we will never forget. And yes, we are all excited to get our test results. Merry Christmas everyone. P.S. Sorry my mom isn't a whore. No, you're not my daddy. Congratulations /you/snorkel 721. This post has been voted by our community as the fuck up of the month for December 2018. For Lee's not your dad. 3. 1K comments. My ex had blood type AB. She told me her dad had blood type O+. I told her that didn't work. Her mom admitted that her dad wasn't her dad. Fucked my birthday right up. Similar thing happened to a kid in my school. Middle school science class, they start talking about blood types. A kid asks how he has this blood type while his parents have these. I can't remember them exactly, but they didn't match. Science teacher, without thinking, says that means your daddy isn't really your daddy. Turns out he was very correct. Edit, typo. Everyone hears about this kind of shit, but you never expect it to happen to you. A guy found me on 23andMe and it turned out we had 12.5% DNA in common, making us close cousins. But then I found out he was born in the 50s, which makes cousinship impossible. It turns out he's my half-uncle. And in the process of figuring out how the hell he eluded the family, it turned out that the guy we thought was my great-uncle was actually my uncle. My grandma hid the fact that her very younger brother was actually her kid. And he was this guy's brother. Those kinds of bombshells can completely rewrite your family tree. It's wild. Edit, this blew up overnight. I just want to add that there was no fault involved. My grandmother had an extremely rough early life in World War II and into post-war Europe. There's zero judgment for her choices, and it's not clear how much was even her choice to begin with. She passed away several years ago, so some of the reasoning and specifics will never be understood. If your family has a strange adoption story or gave a child up along the way, remember that it was a vastly different time with a difficult social landscape. Be gentle and considerate of folks. I had the opposite thing happen. I did 23andMe and found out that my first cousins, who I'm not close with, they were estranged for a long time from my dad's brother, also had done 23andMe because it matched us as first cousins. I told my dad this and he was like, wait, it said that Karen is your first cousin. And I was like, yeah. And he asked to see it and then he said, I have to call my brother. Turned out that my uncle has been convinced for decades that his ex-wife had an affair and his youngest daughter, Karen, wasn't really his. Turns out she has been this whole time. Today I fucked up by living in a dark bedroom for 6 years. The overhead fan in our bedroom uses one of those compact halogen light bulbs. 6 years ago the bulb burned out and got really dim, just barely aglow. I bought a replacement bulb, but when I put that one in it was also barely lighting up, so I realized the unit was bad. The fan still worked great. It literally is the best fan I've ever had because it moves a ton of air and is super quiet. The fan had also been a gift when we moved into our house. The unit cost over $400, so I didn't really want to replace it, even though our bedroom doesn't get much natural light, so it is pretty dark. So since then, over the years, my wife and I have had to make do with no overhead light. We open the windows during the day, and at night use a combination of bedside lamps and the bathroom light. It's never really as good of lighting as an overhead lamp, so I keep some flashlights up there for when we are cleaning or looking for something, etc. After 6 years of living in the dark, this winter I just decided I would replace the damn thing. But before I did, I decided to try one last time with another bulb because, however unlikely, it's possible both bulbs I had tried were bad. So I'm up there installing the new bulb. Grab the remote, the fan has a remote, and as I'm turning the light on I realize the goddamn thing is dimmable. For 6 fucking years we lived with the inconvenience of no overhead light, and the whole time it was just because the damn thing was set to dim. Fuck me. Too long didn't read. For 6 years I lived with no bedroom light because the overhead lamp was broken, but turns out it was fine and it was just set to a dim setting the whole time. I sat at my dining room table under a very dim fan light that I could have sworn used to be brighter a year ago reading your post. I got up and hunted down the fan remote stuck forgotten in a drawer and replaced the batteries. There was not obvious slider for a dimmer, but I just held the light button down and what do you know, the light got a lot brighter. It is fair to say that your post has brightened my life. Thanks. True story. I installed a food disposal years ago and forgot to knock out a plastic piece to hook to the water line. The first time the dishwasher ran after that it didn't drain. I thought the dishwasher went bad too and didn't replace it for a year and washed dishes by hand. When I bought a new dishwasher and went to hook it up to the water line, I discovered my mistake. I never told my wife what the real problem was. LOL. Long-term troll. Your wife knew about it and was waiting for you to finally try to fix it. Glad I didn't wait 6 years to figure that one out when we bought a house. It only took my 5-year-old 2 months to tell us what the problem was. After he finished securing the Wi-Fi router. I'm gonna be honest. I totally thought this would end in you finding a huge spider's web or rat's nest or a mass of cockroaches or something when you changed your light. I'm glad it wasn't. Your result was a lot more wholesome. Today I fucked up by spending the last year on Reddit talking to myself after being muted. Today was the day I realized I messed up by not realizing sooner and just thinking my content was shit. For the last 12 months I've been commenting on people's posts. I've created my own posts. I haven't had a single upvote or reply to anything. My karma has been at 885 for as long as I can remember, so I just figured I wasn't very interesting. Still likely true. Last month I started to try and see my own posts through guest accounts and figured out they weren't showing. I could still clearly see my comments and posts on my account. Anyway, I finally mailed the help team and found out my IP was accidentally mixed in with some action to take out spammers. If you can see this, it's all sorted now, and if you can't, I'm still in my own little Truman Show. If you're procrastinating, and let's face it, you are, feel free to go through my post history and verify the lack of any human engagement. Too long didn't read. I was muted 1 year ago and didn't notice. Since then I've spent the whole time thinking how boring I must be because nobody replies or updates me. Skeptical. Edit, so I've gone from castaway to a full room of people handing me little arrows. Wilson and I thank you 20. Edit 2. This is crazy. Thanks to everyone for all the jewels and things I know nothing about. I'll figure it out and pay it forwards. Special thanks to those that are answering my unanswered questions from previous posts, MVPs. Please don't be too sad about this. I find it kind of funny that I've been such an idiot for so long. It's okay to laugh with / at me smile. Edit 3, Reddit is awesome. I've missed you guys. Don't feel mad at the mods. It's a tough and thankless job, and Fludder/bots are a real pitter. It's just one of those things, and I thank them for putting in the hours. I also want to use this very brief soapbox to raise awareness for mental health. Most of us here use Reddit as an escape. Some people here have fewer friends than they do on the net. Make sure each other are okay every once in a while. If someone goes missing, like for more than a month, if you see someone struggling, send them a message of support. Even a stranger can help. I love all of you weirdos. 3. Edit 4. No more, I promise. I'm completely overwhelmed by the response and the nice feedback. I'm trying to answer all of the questions, but it's difficult to keep up. I created an/a.m.a. When this thread went down, if you relate to any of the topics close to me like diabetes, gaming, mental health, parenting, etc., then keep in touch. Here's a shameless pic of me with the best doggo in the world, and authentication for mods. He listens to me even when you guys don't smile. Stop giving me gold. I appreciate it, but give to charity instead. Here's something different we could do. 3. This must have happened to my Tinder account. Anybody else hear that? I thought I heard something, but I'm not sure. D. Holy shit, that's brutal. We can see ya now, man. I feel like Tom Hanks right now.